Hey Peyton, nice to see you again on this beautiful day and Happy New Year. So there's a quote from Melody Beatty. She's an author. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. And it can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. Peyton, how did we both, strangers, turn into friends?
Happy New Year, my friend. Yes, it was through some gratitude. We were both partaking of some gratitude of a beautiful park in Amsterdam.
Definitely. And
Great point.
I can remember I was like having this walking meditation because I'm like this mindfulness-based stress reduction program from John Kabat-Zinn. And definitely there was some gratitude involved.
I remember thinking, that guy over there looks like a vibe.
Awesome, man. Glad you did.
This is a great topic. I really think gratitude is one of the most underrated and easily available practices to us. This is something that I'm consistently amazed by how often I forget how wonderful this can be. And oftentimes when we need it the most is when we're most reluctant to practice it. And we can start with just something so small and just try to feel it. Can we be grateful that we have all four of our limbs? Can we be grateful that we have our sight, our hearing, our sense of smell and taste? My sense of smell, I'm a little extra grateful for because I lost it for a couple of years after COVID and now I have it back. And gratitude is something that brings more color and saturation into our experience of the world. We oftentimes go around thinking that there just are these things out there and they're either good or bad, and how we experience them has nothing to do with our own habits. They just are, and we are downstream with no agency over our experience and perception of events and objects and experiences. But the reality is that our whole experience of being, how something tastes, how an experience feels, is all mediated by our mind. It's all flavored by our mind. And gratitude is a lens that we put over our awareness that brightens everything up. It warms it. It makes it fuller. It makes it richer. It makes it brighter. It increases the quality and the love that we experience in our life. And it's totally free. It's a practice that we do on purpose, or we can do on purpose. And personally, I find it really helpful to start the day with, to wake up, fresh mind, meditate, and have maybe 3 things I write down that I'm grateful for, even if it's repetitive, even if my cat Puma is on the list of 3 like every other day, just feeling some gratitude, feeling it in my heart, connecting with the experience of gratitude, anything, big or small. It's a habit that changes the energetic tint of our perception of the rest of reality that follows. It primes us for synchronicity and possibility. And it is empowering, actually, to us to practice gratitude. How do you think about this practice? And what would you say about the difference between going through the motions of gratitude, just speaking the word to ourselves, versus actually connecting with the experience in a way that delivers the goods?
Well, you said it brightens our life. It enhances the intensity of what we feel and taste. And there's a difference between grasping it and say, okay, it could be good for me, and trying it and really viscerally feeling the impact of it. And that's what that's what Melody points toward. She says it unlocks the fullness of life, and it even turns chaos to order. It even turns confusion to clarity. And I think about it like if Jesus says, become like children, and children experience the world totally different than we ourselves. And I'm grateful for the opportunity last year to witness a newborn move and be into the world. It's just such a pure experience. It's like watching a campfire. You cannot get enough of it. It's just like you're so fascinated by that little thing totally trusting and totally being immersed in the world. And you talked about something like synaptic pruning,
Hmm.
where it happens that as we grow older, leaving the age of the infant, we lose a whole lot of connections in the brain. So the structure reveals itself as a default network, which makes us able to move in the world in a sensible manner, to know that we have to look out for the red light when we cross the road and so on. So it keeps us safe, but um, it also lessens the intensity of the experience. You can get something back with it, with gratitude. You can get something back of that. And that's amazing, I think, because you can have enough if you just be with yourself. And I think because life is an emotional experience, we often underestimate the fullness we just can gain from living the moment. I myself often just want to escape the moment through like doing something here, being busy there, and thinking about that, or obsessively focusing on a project and so on. Whereas instead, I just could focus on my life right here, right now, and be totally satisfied with what there is already. Because this is it. You only get the moments. You can wake up to the moment again and again. So if you're rich or poor, in the end, it won't matter. If you win this lawsuit, if you lose it, in the end, it won't matter. But you can be grateful for anything surrounding you, even in the midst of chaos. You can have clarity in the midst of chaos just because you know how to use your tools. You use your inner engineering for that. Peyton, how would you do that then?
I have a couple methods that I think are so helpful for this. One of them that is particularly powerful from the Stoics is negative visualization. So don't merely try to be grateful for the fact that you have a car. Actually, close your eyes and imagine that yesterday somebody stole your car, and imagine that now you have to ride your bike in the snow to get to work every day. And or you can never drive a car again because your license got taken away and now you have to go and take a job that's closer to you, or you can't go where you want freely anymore. Now you will feel much more grateful for this. Or don't merely say, I'm grateful for my sight. Actually, picture what it would be like to never see again, to never be able to open up your computer and type something out, to never be able to witness nature without actually being guided around by a dog and smelling and hearing it, or to be able to see a movie and watch it, or see the beauty of somebody's face. This is something that's much more vivid. If we actually picture what it would be like to be without it, imagine it, dwell in that alternate reality, and then come back and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that I have these eyes and I can see. That comes in handy so much, and I'm invisible to that. Or even living in a place of peace and not in a war zone. There's so many things that are so immensely valuable to us. What would you pay if you were in a war zone and you could go right back to where you are right now with total peace, and you can sleep well, and you know that your house will be standing tomorrow, and you know you will not get shot on your way to work, and you won't be asked to kill anybody? This is so, so valuable, but so easy to forget what a gift it is to have peace where we live, or relative peace at least. This is negative visualization. A similar one is the last time meditation. So maybe you are going for a walk outside. Maybe you are getting dinner with your parents. Maybe you are listening to a song. Whatever it is, there will be a last time that you ever do this. You have a finite number of meals that you will share with your mom, for example. And every one of those meals that you have is one fewer meal that remains, and you don't know how many you have left. The scoreboard is hidden. You might have 500 left, or you might have six left, and you don't know. And each one could be the last time. And regardless of whether or not it is, at some point, there will be a last time when you have that experience. Recognizing that, recognizing the finitude of life, can make each little experience that we have feel much more like an opportunity to savor. Right now, I'm in Costa Rica, which is one of my favorite countries in the whole world. And I feel a a concern about the future of the safety of this country, as narco traffickers have made this a bigger and bigger stop on the way from Colombia to North America. And so, as I walk around some of these places that I love and see the jungle and the mountains, I recognize that this place might not be safe forever. It might not be as beautiful and as carefree and as wonderful forever. And so, in some way, I go around and I savor where I'm at. I savor the culture that is still beautiful and playful and wonderful. Not that I'm giving up on it, not that I'm all pessimistic or anything, but even recognizing that nothing is guaranteed. I can't know that I will ever be back to this beautiful, fun town that I am now in. And so,
Mhm.
drink it up, enjoy it, take it in, have gratitude for it while you are here. And ultimately, there will be a last time, even if it stays safe forever. I still will only be here a finite number of times, and I may never be back in this exact spot. And so the last time can be really, really helpful. How about you? Any other framings or tricks or tools or practices that you find really helpful for gratitude?
Well, I really like the negative visualization technique from the Stoics, but also there's this quote from James Clear where he says, "Gratitude is just wanting what you already have."
Yeah.
And that's it. You don't want
Yeah.
nothing else. You don't want something you don't have, because then there's this lack between what there is and what there could be. But being grateful means appreciating the moment for what it is, as being enough in itself and end in itself. And that's what I also find to be a useful framing.
And it should be natural, actually, because at one point you chose your apartment. You went there and you toured it and you said, "Oh, yeah, can I sign a lease? I want this place."
Hmm.
And at one point you picked out your bicycle and you looked at all the bicycles and you said, "I want this one. Let
Yeah,
me exchange something for it." You looked at the guitars that were on this and you said, "I want this one." And then after we do get the thing that we want, we often forget that we want it. But at one point, you wanted the relationship that you have. You wanted the job that you have. You wanted the place that you live. You wanted the guitar that you have. You wanted the bookshelf that is behind you and many of the books that are on it. We
yeah,
wanted these things and
yeah.
we forget.
We want so much, and I guess it's in human nature that we are continuously dissatisfied, which lies in the nature of our evolution. Just because of that, we as a group, I guess, survived. Because if there only would be Buddhist monks just being totally content with nothing, I guess our species would have disappeared. But since we are still here, it's a good sign that we can always improve as long as we are here. So it's like a way to make your life more beautiful, and it's for free, and you can do it right now. You can just say to yourself, okay, I'm actually grateful for having a roof over my head, for having enough food, for being with people I like, and then I might as well just go on an adventure with that. If the basics are there, then with the gratitude, with this feeling of having and being enough, this is what I wish for everyone in the new year. I wish that you can feel you have enough. And if there's something lacking, which is basic, then yeah, you can get it because you have the control over some things in your life. No control over the thing you want to get, like getting back your leg if you lost it. I don't know. Then I also like the tool of appreciating your ability to influence the situation. Don't just go into the mode of feeling like a victim who cannot do anything and learning helplessness, but appreciate the abilities you can have and impact the situation. Stay optimistic with it. It's like, okay, which options present themselves to myself? Which other options haven't I thought about yet? Then change what you can control. And you always have control over your own emotions. Not always like being triggered and so on, but I mean, in the sense of you decide your reactions and the intensity of it, because there is a space in between the trigger and your reaction. And basically, I wish you to be able to have enough space to consciously decide how you want to react if something triggers you.
Exactly. Maybe not total control like a robot, but agency, influence.
Agency.
There are things that we can do to shift these energies, and negative energies will definitely arise.
Mhm,
Resistance will arise, anger will arise, frustrations will arise, ingratitude will arise. This is the opportunity to practice, to return, to come back. It's
mhm,
very energy efficient, and to feel the glow of gratitude, not merely letting it be a word, but actually feeling it in our chest, feeling it in our heart, letting it expand a little bit, sitting with it and allowing it to grow. I
mhm,
would say that loving kindness is actually a similar thing, where oftentimes when we need it most, when it can be most healing, most helpful to us, most restorative to us, is when we are least inclined to practice it, is when the opportunity is the greatest of gratitude and of loving kindness.
mhm,
And it can turn a meal into a feast. There's a beautiful reason why so many people pray before they eat and give thanks before they eat.
mhm.
This is a practice that is really, really helpful and really nice. And so
Underrated
my intention, what's that?
and underrated. Don't
Underrated.
just pray because you have the words for it, but
Yes.
put an intention into really turning that meal into a feast and giving thanks to all the amazing things which had to happen that you have the meal on your plate. It's not only that maybe your wife prepared it for you, so you don't just say, "Oh, it doesn't taste well because the bread is stale." No, no, no. There's people who collaborated, an infinite chain of collaborating people, so that the
Yes,
produce came onto your plate and your table. This is a situation worth appreciating and not just mindlessly saying, okay, just get the stuff in. No, no, if you pray, don't
yeah,
do it like lightly. Don't do it like with that and then say, okay, to your wife, doesn't taste good. Just appreciate the moment, appreciate your wife, appreciate the meal, and then it's a feast.
so true.
What
So
is your
true.
intention, Peyton?
My intention is to be grateful for the whole, to be grateful for the whole of life. When I feel super frustrated with something specific, some situation, something that someone else is doing, or something that I'm tempted to regret in my life, to actually zoom out and see that reality doesn't work in a way where you can go into the past and you can say, okay, I like the fact that my body is healthy. I like the fact that I wasn't abused as a child. I like the fact that I don't live in a war zone, but I don't accept this thing. So I'm going to really resist this specific thing. I'm going to imagine that I can just cut out this part of reality and remove it. And I'm angry until this piece is not changed. That's not how reality works. Reality is one unfolding whole. All of the blessings that we've ever experienced are completely intertwined with all of reality and all of the bad things and all of the pain that we experience, including how we've had so many joys in the past. We'll have so many joys in the future, and we might be in a moment of suffering right now. We might be sick with the flu and currently vomiting, and all of this can't be separated. Life goes, it flows, it has this side, it has that side, it has this item, it has this event. All of it is one big gestalt. And so, in the moment when something is really challenging, in the moment when I'm frustrated and I'm tempted to really resist and dislike everything, can I remind myself and connect with a gratitude for the all, a gratitude for there is only one of us in the reality. There is only one reality. And you can't have this without that. You can't chop it up and pick and choose what is and what is not. It is all one big thing, and all of the good things are intertwined with all of the challenging things that we experience. And so, can I connect with all of the joys that I had when I was a child in this moment, and all of the joys that I will have in the future, and all of the things that I've experienced along the way, the adventures, the friends, the health, the loved ones, the positive feelings of good experience and curiosity and learning. All of these things are connected. And so let me connect with gratitude for the all, for the whole, for the one big gestalt of everything, and the moment that it's the most hard to do so. Let me remind myself of this and come back to this in the moment when I'm tempted to just discard it. And the last thing I want to do right now is practice gratitude because this bullshit is going on. Can't you see? And so this is my intention. Can I bring gratitude for the wholeness? Can I bring gratitude for reality, even when it is the hardest to do it? How about you, man? What is your intention?
Building up what's a very beautiful intention, man. I'll copy that and I'll add building up some kind of basic habits, like not only just systems for your life, but focusing also on everything as a habit or maybe a potential habit if it's not a one-time deed. And then focusing on how is the structure so that I can implement it, so that it aligns with what I already do, but only in a habitual way so that I can shape the robot which I am. Like,
Only
hmm,
German engineers are robots.
yeah. Well, I'm a moist robot, I wanted to say, you know?
Yes.
That being said, it's like feeling grateful definitely is on the list of being implemented as a habit in my moist robot life.
I'm grateful for you, my friend, and for these
Likewise, man.
conversations. I will
Thanks
see you on
for
the next one.
thanks for turning from a stranger into a friend, man. I really appreciate that.
Likewise.
It's like we are here like 123 times in a row now and talking to each other with each other. And I really appreciate that. I enjoy that. To the next hundo, man.
To the next Sunday, brother. Take it easy. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.